all been put in uniform.
We need to probe in order to make far-reaching recommendations. I would think that a commission of inquiry with somebody with strong judicial background must probe and investigate into these killings. The police is investigating how Yakubu for shooting. What's the status of it? That should advise you.
But the majority says the attempt to have a motion approved over this must not be limited to only the 2020 elections.
Why should we block it in the first instance? But sometimes I believe that it is the duplication of resources which is embarrassing. But we are not going to block it. Wherever they want to go with this matter, they will go with it. But essentially, I thought when it talks about something which is criminal in orientation, the people who have the expert to do it by law is the police. And when you finish and you commandeer the ferrying of the police report to Parliament for us to interrogate, that would have been a better approach.
We would go back to roots, and that is 1992. All the elections that we have, what is the problem? We have had many elections in the country before. Right. If there's a perception that things haven't gone well and that there were A, B, C, D, just as you have had last, please, for God's sake, let's go back to roots. Start from 1992, and then we deal with it.
The manager in charge of Ghana's expanded immunization program at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Amponsah-Achiano, says Ghana will receive a second consignment of vaccines in the next 1 or 2 weeks to enable those who have already been inoculated in the first jab to take the second jab by the end of April. Dr. Achiano, who confirmed a purchasing order has already been done, however, warned the public against taking jabs from individuals since it is only the health ministry that can procure vaccines in the country.
The Ghana Health Service is investigating alleged theft of vaccines which were sold to private individuals by 3 health workers. There have also been reports of some persons trading in fake COVID vaccines in other countries. Ghana's COVID-19 vaccination has started, with the second phase ongoing. Government has been at the forefront of procurement of vaccines, and the program's manager of the expanded program on immunization at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Amponsah-Achiano, says this will ensure no fake vaccine is allowed into the country. Speaking to Alfred Okanse on the 3FM morning show Sunrise, Dr. Achiano said the Food and Drugs Authority is currently embarking on market surveillance to get rid of fake vaccines.
For a pandemic or an epidemic, vaccines are procured only through the ministry. So if fake vaccines are coming, they will be coming through some entity. And so this indirectly serves as a warning to people who might be getting vaccines from outside our system. There could be something else. Only the ministry that can procure vaccines. And there's no way the ministry will procure fake vaccines. Those vaccines would even have to be validated by FDA. There are designated centers as to where the dedicated places are.
Dr. Achiano also disclosed other brands of vaccines will soon come in apart from AstraZeneca, which is being used now.
We haven't just resigned our fate to AstraZeneca. We've opened up because we could read in between the lines that there was going to be a global challenge. So currently, we have Sputnik already passing the emergency use listing or use authorization by the FDA. There are also other vaccines that are being reviewed in terms of dossiers so that they could pass for emergency use and then they can be imported as well.
He said 487,000 persons have so far been vaccinated from the 815,000 vaccines received for the exercise. The second phase of the vaccination exercise, he says, is ongoing in the districts for health workers. Dr. Achiano is hopeful Ghana will receive a second consignment of vaccines in the next 2 weeks to enable those who have already been inoculated to take the second jab by the end of April. He confirmed a purchasing order has already been done.
We know that COVAX is seriously negotiating so that we can get the second, the second consignment for those who have already received. The purchasing order is different from actually getting the vaccine, but at least it's it's an advanced step to let you know that you are getting vaccines in the shortest possible time. So within 2 weeks, we are hopeful to get vaccines for those that we've already started.
We're still staying on health, and now to one of our headline stories. For days, weeks and months, some of them stayed at these camps with the hope of getting their mental health challenges addressed. However, concerns have been raised about keeping these persons at these healing and prayer camps in this era of COVID-19 and the impact. Here's Kingsley Amachi's report.
From the mother's house that is hunting your children by the blood that...
In Ghana, mental health is associated with spiritism, and the first spot of call for solution is prayer camps and traditional healing centers. In some of these healing centers, persons with mental disabilities are chained, tortured, and are treated in inhumane ways due to lack of training from workers of these healing centers. And it is evident that the persons with mental illness are forced against their will to attend the camps, only to be physically abused and forcefully isolated. Despite the fact that Ghana has ratified the convention and Act on People with Various Disabilities, the country has done little towards the harsh treatment with rights of persons with mental illness. It is against this backdrop the Mental Health Society of Ghana is embarking on a project to advocate the immediate release of persons with mental illness in the various prayer camps and traditional healing centers in the era of COVID-19 pandemic.
Because most of the prayer camps and traditional healing camps have taken undue advantage of these people and their rights have been trampled upon, the project is trying to enforce those rights. And even if you look at the 1992 Constitution, specifically in Article 15, it talks about the dignity of a person. So it means that you cannot treat a person in any way that you think, but some of these prayer camps are not doing right. And they have sidestepped the rights of these people and doing what they think is good for them.
The organization believes the more these persons are confined to the various prayer camps, the more the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
They are explaining the COVID-19 to be a spiritual issue, and therefore asking people with mental health problems to come to them because they already have an underlying condition. And since it's a spiritual thing, they will be able to address it better. Explaining and justifying that, of course, that is why WHO hasn't found a solution to it. So they are overcrowding some of these prayer camps. And one, we know that they don't even have what it takes to provide PPEs. So we are asking that people with social disabilities should unconditionally be discharged into the communities rather, so that government will be able to take care of these people at the facilities or at the psychiatric units of the various district hospitals.
The project coordinator of Mental Health Society of Ghana, Esinam Dra, said persons with mental health disabilities should be supported by families and allowed to maximize their independence.
Most of the people with lived experience are being confined, and it will increase the spread of the disease if one person is infected. And we don't think it is safe for them to be in such a situation. At least for the time period that they've been there, they should be supported so that they can maximize their own independence. Who knows, this is their opportunity to start a new life.
A real concern there, and we'll stay the steam on in our subsequent bulletins on this matter. But away from that, into the Auditor General's report. The 2019 Auditor General's report has revealed that the National Development Planning Commission, as NDPC, under the Ministry of Finance, spent an amount of almost 46,000 Ghana cedis on staff who were admitted in hospitals for food poisoning. Just take note of these amounts. So the report further added that the commission spent a total of over 850,000 Ghana cedis as consultancy fees and spent an extra 17,422 cedis on one Veronica Buffo, who was on Korea International Cooperation Agency scholarship. This was an amount that was spent on scholarships alone. I want to show you a bit more on this, and clearly it'll give you a bit of concern. And because these revelations in the Auditor General's report over the years, whenever it is tabled before the Public Accounts Committee, the various persons come before the committee on live television, they answer questions, and it practically ends there. Questions have been raised about what measures can be put in place to retrieve monies that have been misappropriated back to the national kitty to execute development. Take a look at this. This is the National Development Planning Commission, NDPC. According to the Auditor General's report, they spent 45,898 Ghana cedis on staff who were admitted in various medical centers for consumption of poisonous food contracted by administration for stakeholders. Now, they are recommending, as the Auditor General is recommending, that management should, as a matter of urgency, put in place food policy to safeguard the lives of staff and other participants in various meetings, for instance. So the next one is some 850,000 that was spent on consultancy fees. The recommendation by the Auditor General in this report is that henceforth, the accountant should demand receipts and other relevant documents and attach them to the respective vouchers for reviews. I mean, you want to ask that this is normal standard operating procedure, that if something is spent, you certainly would want to demand receipt. But in this case, this was not done, and there's no receipt covering all of this expenditure. The NDPC also paid an amount of 17,422 Ghana cedis to one Veronica Bafo, who was on a scholarship. So there was a recommendation by the Auditor General's report that the finance officer should obtain the supporting documents to cover these payments and inform the Auditor General's office accordingly. These are clear concerns, and I'm going to tell you this, that from the analysis of the Auditor General's report, it is not peculiar to a particular year. These are issues that have been recurring over the period, and concerns have been raised as to what measures have been put in place to ensure that these avoidable situations do not occur. So these are the concerns that are being raised at the moment, and what exactly will be done about it, especially because, I mean, there's some simple standard operating procedure like expenditure, take receipt, cover it, so that when auditors come, you can show it as proof that indeed you expended this money for what you said you used it for. Let's stay with the Auditor General's report a bit further, and this time around to the University of Professional Studies, UPSA, because a former rector of the University of Professional Studies has been asked by the Auditor General to refund an amount of 300,000 Ghana cedis, which was paid as legal fees to private legal firm Litherbrew and Company. According to the Auditor General, no work was done. Well, the report contained in the audited reports of the public boards, corporations, and other statutory institutions says the company was paid for no work done. The report is also saying that an amount of a little over 2 million, that's 2.3 million Ghana cedis, was released to some officers of UPSA to transact official business on behalf of the university. Out of this amount, only 353,279 Ghana cedis was accounted for. The report is also saying there were no supporting documents in this instance as well. The report said some monies released could not also be accounted for, leaving a difference of 1,949,090 Ghana cedis to be accounted for, though the activities for which the funds were released had been conducted long ago. The Auditor General recommends that the amount be recovered immediately. Now, let's go onto the telephone now, and we're trying to get onto the telephone Professor Joshua Labi, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies here in Accra, UPSA, to answer to some of these questions that the Auditor General is raising in that report, and some monies that were expended, and the fact that there's no documentation covering some of the monies that were allocated to the university under his term or during his term as University of Professional Studies Accra Vice Chancellor. So that's the concern there. And I've been joined on the telephone by Professor Joshua Labi. Good evening to you, Prof. Hello? Prof, good evening to you. If you can hear me, thank you for your time this evening. First off, I'm sure you've had to answer a number of questions about this report. But what the Auditor General is saying is that you appointed through sole sourcing without recourse to provisions of the Public Procurement Act, as amended in 2016, that's Luther Brew and Company, for the University of Professional Studies during your tenure as Vice Chancellor. True?
Don't mind them. They didn't do a good job. And it's time we try to hold people responsible for the shoddy job they do for this country. Now, Tonlita did a lot of job for the school. He was appointed somewhere in 2014 after the term of office of the office of the old external lawyer expired. Now, council met and decided to discuss the performance of the previous lawyer and they need to appoint a new one. And it fell on Tonlita. So as a VC, we have to implement the council decision. Now, council going for Tonlita, sole sourcing is not wrong at all. Sole sourcing is not illegal. It is legal. Even now we are still doing sole sourcing everywhere. So it is absolutely not correct for one to say that for council to decide on Tonlita as the lawyer for the school is legal. That is one. Now, the second accusation is that he was given an amount of money. If I have stated an amount, but I don't know.
Yes, so they say, I'm going to help you there. They say that you, as in the management of UPSA, signed a retainer agreement dated March 16, 2014, and paid an amount of $263,670 to this Luther Brew law firm.
Yes. I don't have my documents with me to know the exact amount because I left UPSA 2016 and we are 2021. You see, when I was the Vice Chancellor, my last year, I wrote to the Auditor General to come and audit in the school because I'll be leaving. And it's always proper for you to sit in the chair, for you to be audited, then you can answer all the queries. Now, several times I knocked on their door, they didn't come. I left 2016, and today, early morning, I heard from the radio station that they said I did something wrong, and that is the case we are referring to. Tonlita was taken on retainer base for UPSA. And retainer base means that, number one, you go to court on behalf of the university, and number two, at any point in time, should the school need you, you will come and also handle legal issues for them. So discussions, what do you call it, legal documentation, etc. We used to invite them later. So he came to the school several times to assist in our legal matters.
I see.
Now, Tonlita, like I said, also went to court on behalf of UPSA. So for the Auditor General to write that he was paid without work, that is what I can't understand. Behind that.
It's good to outline some of these, but is there any evidence, for instance, to point to some of these things that you've just outlined, that he went to court on behalf of, in fact, defended the university, he was there to offer legal services. Is there something to point to prove that indeed this was done?
Oh, then this, because I'm no more in the school, and you are also not prepared to go to the Vice Chancellor to ask him. Tonlita is there. And I believe as a serious law firm, he will have documents. So I think that it's proper for you to also call to me and ask him. Then he will tell you that, yes, I went to court, and the court also have their records. So he can't lie to you. You follow? Yes. So it's better you call Tonlita to find out for him whether he did some work for UPSA and justify why he was paid. You follow? So I think that I also advise that you call him. If you don't want to call the Vice Chancellor of UPSA to find out from him what really happened, because sometimes when you leave office, somebody takes over from you you don't know how you will also answer some of the queries on the things that you did. And that's why it's always proper for the auditors to make sure that even if the person has left office, it's proper for you to invite him to answer the query. But nothing was, I heard nothing just this morning from the radio station.
I see.
You see, the ideal thing to do as auditors is, if you want to publish such a thing, then the officers concerned, you need to ask them for their response. Nothing like that happened. So I don't know whether what they presented is the response from UPSA, or UPSA gave them the right response and they assisted it. I don't know. So it's also good for you to also call on the management of UPSA, because I know more there, and then call on Tony Mita to find out whether he really did some job for the school, and then you know. But I think that it is sad the way we do our work in this country, and for such a report to come out without any, what we call it, a response from the officers concerned, it is sad.
Right. Professor Chosolabi, thank you. And obviously that question about systems and structures in the school transcending your regime is key, so that the questions wouldn't be limited to you as an individual, but also find out exactly what the school said about some of these decisions that were taken during your tenure. We'll follow up on that, but stay with us here on News 360. We will be back shortly after this quick break. To stay.
Wow! My uniform looks different.
Feco spray starch. Majimo point. Ratchet. Pause. When you want to remember the more. I feel you spray starch, Papa. On particles be our water, no wrinkles, smooth iron.
Yes, Papa. Feco spray starch. Me here perfume.
Feco spray starch.
Look sharp.
Look sharp. Look sharp.
Do your tiles remove or crack after fixing? If yes, your problems are over, because Deluxe brings another top-notch brand, Deluxe Super Fix Tile Cement. Dried right, mixed right, packaged right, giving you that excellent finish. It bonds better and lasts longer. Deluxe Super Fix Tile Cement, a quality product with right raw materials, making it super. Deluxe Super Fix Tile Cement, bond better.
Celebrate a low-price family Easter with ShopRite. Get more for your Easter feast with our low prices. Plus, get great deals like a hot cross bun 6-pack for only 5 cedis, 99 pence worth, and a 2-liter tub of fun ice cream assorted for just 27 cedis, 99 pence worth each. There's more low prices for your family this Easter, only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. We've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
This advert is FDA approved.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleasoft. Use new Cleasoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleasoft, my favorite.
Cleasoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Can you picture? Is that not your wife?
Every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop, everyone! Baby. What's that TV be for tonight? You know I like that sweet-scented insecticide spray. You know, little bit on the porch. Now do we have a living room hall? Bedroom what you hear? Me love you, me baby. Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children, so I always win. If you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man who say baby. And the spray also sweet scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. What the Badamoshi? Prevention is always better than Mausanka or heaven insecticide spray and in the coil. If you say heaven, dear,
this advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh my, oh. Everybody thinks my life just be enjoyment. Like you, I have to try over and over again to make it.
Yo, Kitty, waiting on a new hit. Yeah, waiting, Kitty.
It helps when I don't have to worry about everyday stuff like banking.
New message.
So I can focus and make great music for my fans. Fidelity Digital Banking fills me with enjoyment.
Try Fidelity Digital Banking today and make it happen with Fidelity Bank, because together we are more.
Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
Evening, and we're starting off with Kenya, where the country's President Uhuru Kenyatta has banned all inland travel in and out of 5 counties, including the capital Nairobi, to stop a surge of COVID-19 cases. No road, rail or air transport will be allowed until further notice, Mr. Kenyatta said. He declared Nairobi, Kajiado, Kiambu, Machakos and Nakuru counties to be disease-infected zones. All in-person meetings in the counties have been banned. International travel will continue on condition that all passengers present negative COVID-19 certificates. Now, the president has also increased curfew hours to now begin at 8 p.m. until 4 a.m. in the 5 counties and revoked all special passes that allowed people to travel during the restricted hours. Now, the sale of alcohol in the areas has also been banned, and restaurants ordered to only provide takeaway services. Kenya's COVID-19 positivity rate has jumped from 2% to 22% between January and March. The president said at least 7 people are dying every day from COVID-19. In Nairobi, 6 out of 10 people test positive for COVID-19. The new measures will come into effect at midnight. And so we're going to be staying on this. On Zoom currently is Joseph Warungu. He's managing news editor for NTV in Nairobi. Good evening, Mr. Warungu. Thanks very much for joining us. Tell us what the situation is currently in Kenya.
In the COVID-19 infections over the last per day has doubled.
Mr. Warungu, if you can hear me, I think you're on mute currently, so we cannot hear what you're saying. If you can adjust that quickly and we go back to the situation. So we're talking about the recent lockdown in Kenya, and we'll be looking at how the vaccination processes have been. Now he can hear me. Mr. Warungu, I was asking how dire the situation is in Kenya.
Well, the COVID-19 situation has been really bad over the last few weeks, I would say, which has prompted the president this evening actually to declare a new lockdown affecting large parts of the country, including the capital, to try and arrest the situation. Statistics released by the Africa CDC, the Center for Disease Control, shows that Kenya has had one of the highest infection rates in the last couple of weeks, as well as the number of deaths. So this, just to give you an example of what this means, about a month ago in February, around 3 Kenyans were dying daily from corona. Right now, it's 7 people who are dying each day. The ICU facilities in most hospitals are completely full, so there is no room there. Hospitals are quite stretched, and quite a number of people, including journalists and media professionals, have passed on as a result of the disease. And so the president and the government felt that this now needs to be arrested because it's becoming uncontrollable.
But Mr. Warungu, we know that Kenya was expecting some 24 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Tell us what the vaccination process has been so far.
The AstraZeneca vaccines did arrive in the country, but there's been a very slow take-up of the vaccine. So there's been, a bit of a reluctance by people to do that. The government has had to really put pressure on them to do that. And I'm afraid it didn't help that the president himself did not set an example by taking the vaccine first, as has happened in other countries. He only actually has the vaccine today. So that vaccination exercise is going on, but it's been a bit slow. So there's been campaigns in the media and around the country for people to take up these vaccines. But it's not been, as practically received as everybody would have hoped. And maybe I should also add that Kenya is in an interesting position. We have this large border that we share with Tanzania. And as you might know, Tanzania has had no COVID protocols in place. So there has been medical authorities in Kenya have said that there was the South African strain of the coronavirus that mainly flowed in from Tanzania. All the other countries in the Eastern African region, Rwanda, which is our neighbor, Uganda, etc., have very strict, facilities or shall we say, COVID protocols in place. But we've not had that situation with Tanzania. So it's been a very, very loose and fluid border. So things have been, also people have been really quite relaxed and tired with this, all these measures that they need to take. So that's why the situation has really been bad over the last, I would say actually just a month or so.
But we also understand that the recent lockdown is going to have some kind of effect on the country's economy. But do we know how long the lockdown is going to be for?
This is what, just speaking to some people who run businesses and companies, and that's the concern. The government said, or the president announced that this current lockdown that he's announced is going to go on until further notice. Now, further notice is very hard to plan. And when you've taken measures like, shut down, bars, restaurants can only do takeaways, public transport can only carry up to 60%, of their capacity, and then, completely isolated Nairobi and the surrounding areas so that nobody can come in or get out. Businesses are feeling the pinch. They were already just beginning to see signs of a recovery economically. But right now, a lot of these companies are planning to hold emergency meetings next week to see how they're going to react. So you can expect job losses and things like that. So it's going to be quite tough.
We're grateful for your time this evening, Mr. Warungu. Joseph Warungu is Managing News Editor of NTV in Nairobi. He was giving us an update on Kenya's latest lockdown due to a surge in COVID-19 cases. And this is where we take a break. When we return, this more news right here on News 360.
Get your Camel antiseptic. Get your Camel antiseptic and fly to Dubai. Bye, 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 bye. Bye and fly to Dubai with Camel antiseptic. Bye and fly.
If you missed the first two, get your passport and luggage ready for the third edition of the Camel Antiseptic Buy and Fly to Dubai promo. Get any variant of Camel Antiseptic Liquid, scratch its panel, and text code to 1393 on all networks. Win a trip for two to Dubai every week. You can also win instant prizes like airtime, hampers, and many more. Camel Buy and Fly 3. All COVID-19 safety protocols will be observed. Camel cleans, cares, and protects for healthy skin. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Choco cookies made with the finest Ghanaian cocoa. Now introducing the
Piccadilly Butter Cookies, a new addition to the Piccadilly family. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
It's independence, your financial independence. Whoever you are, wherever you find yourself, what would you do with an extra 2,000 Ghana cedis in this month of independence and each month for a full year? With star 787 hash, you stand a chance to win 2,000 Ghana cedis in this month of independence, all with only 5 Ghana cedis tickets. Yes, you heard me right. 2,000 Ghana cedis for a full year. What are you waiting for? Load your mobile wallet now and dial star 787 hash to play and win 2,000 Ghana cedis and this promising jackpot this Saturday. Star 787 hash. Obiedi. Wonsube to me edi.
Shady Roma to me.
And Tonton Master, a baby Jumanamo. She's so mad that Roma insecticide spray at that Roma. Interfere, Entatia, make it her. No way! Shemikuno and Tonton Bako crown panel. And also a pussy. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. I'm out there with a sham. Roma and
Roma and Tonton Master.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath.
Have you heard of Eden Heights, a luxury gated residential development located in the heart of Accra West, just behind West Hills Mall? It's Accra's best kept secret, a master planned community of modern styled apartments and penthouses bearing the superior seal of grade A finishing. Eden Heights promises residents convenience, security and comfort. For an all-inclusive and self-contained living experience, Eden Heights is your best choice. You are guaranteed a wide variety of social and recreational conveniences right at your doorstep, including open green spaces, soccer pitch, swimming pools, tennis court, fitness center, playgrounds, and entertainment facilities. Reserve your luxury apartment on our limited promotional offer with just 25,000 cedis. Call 050-1531-444 for more information and to book a viewing. Terms and conditions apply. Eden Heights, welcome home.
This segment is brought to you by
Piccadilly Biscuits,
Roma insecticide spray and coil.
Welcome back. Let's get into business now. And as we talk about Ghana Month, statistics have shown that the percentage of Ghanaian-made products on the shelves of local supermarkets is just 26%. A marginal figure when placed in parallel with foreign or imported products into the country, following a research finding by international research group that's Confidant. My colleague Nancy Volcaner has been finding out from stakeholders why this remains so and the way forward.
A cursory look on the shelves of many supermarkets in Ghana show imported products dominate compared to locally made products. In a research involving 70 product lines, it emerged Ghanaian products have only 26% representation on supermarket shelves. This means that Ghana-made products fall short in competitive advantage and raises doubts about Ghana's capacity to effectively compete within the wider continental trade area.
For the research, the main findings were, in terms of aggregates, we found that overall aggregated, we had 26% of the goods that we surveyed in the retail outlets that we surveyed being made in Ghana. On aggregate, findings show that unprocessed products are reported to be better represented than processed ones. Some of the interesting things about that data was the fact that we realized made in Ghana goods tend to do better in terms of goods that can be classified as unprocessed rather than with processed or manufactured goods. So for the purpose of the survey, we looked at 19 product categories, 70 products in total. Out of those, 84% were classified as processed goods. And within that category, only 23% were made in Ghana. In the category of unprocessed goods, which is 16, we had a 40% made in Ghana share. So the performance was clearly better for the unprocessed goods than for the processed goods.
Local retailers Melcom Group, one of the companies included in the research, have explained their position on the findings.
Any Ghanaian who has a product to market and to sell should feel free to approach us. You bring the product, we certify the quality based on FDA approval. Then we ask questions like volume of production. So we'll start with a selected number of shops. Once you can produce that capacity, we'll take your goods and we'll sell for you. For example, rice. We have 4 brands of rice, but a lot more people can produce rice and bag it and market it in Ghana. We have beverages. They're doing a lot of work there, but the bigger companies have taken the bigger chunk. So there are areas where we need cooperation to be able to increase volume for locally made products in Ghana.
CEO of the Private Enterprises Federation, Nanaose Bonsu, while expressing his views about the research methodology, regretted local producers seldom patronize government support for import substitution.
If a greater percentage of the population patronizes these supermarkets, then that 26 percentile is an alarming population that we have to say. Nobody goes to Maxmart and to buy avocado. They buy from the street girls. And it's not counted as part of the patronage. So when you're doing some research that is skewed to the point that it's organized merchants that can be considered, then definitely your inference is not as accurate as it can be.
He outlined parameters for the way forward for Ghana-made products to gain competitive advantage locally and within the wider continental trade area.
Education is critical for them to be aware of the availability of these raw materials for them to use. So we encourage our members and business groups to take these training programs seriously. Agriculture is the lead to be able to break even into the export market. We should encourage our people to be able to manage our raw materials, convert them into a life-sustaining products, and then transfer them across borders with our counterparts elsewhere.
Nancy Vokania, TV3 News, Accra.
Small business news on 3news.com. Good for this quick break right afterwards. Yao Ofosu Labi is standing by with the sports news.
Aroma has introduced fortified rice that contains iron, vitamin B3, B6, B9, B12, and zinc.
Yay!
Yeah! Isn't it heavy? Where are you going with the bag?
I can carry it. I want to show it to my friends.
New Royal Aroma fortified rice for you and your family. This advert is FDA approved.
Yena. Makechiano, why are you?
Oh!
Tum tum preku. Saso. Mwa. Saso.
Papa no. Oh, you saso. Yena saso.
Yes. Any saso. Madam, any saso. What?
Saso. Emo beyond that Saso. Ekum tum. Ni mwa saso. Kum tum preku.
Help fight the spread of germs. Learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Do not take any chances with mosquitoes. With active lemongrass concentrates, Day by Day Protect protects you effectively against mosquitoes. Day by Day Protect. Protect your loved ones.
Welcome to your world of stress-free rental solutions. When you work with Renters Paradise, your professional landlords, your peace of mind is assured. Whether you're renting out, looking to rent, buying or selling a property, just give us a call on 055-195-5366. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Renters Paradise GH. You can also visit our website, rentersparadisegh.com. Renters Paradise, your peace of mind assured.
Madam, please hurry up. I'm running late for work.
But what do you do?
Oh, I'm a major stakeholder in the local food industry. I manufacture and distribute golden, deep-fried, spherical, and sometimes ovoid-shaped yeast dough balls.
And what about fruit?
Pa!
Yes, buffalo!
Shine your hustle every day with the goodness of Fan Yogo. So cool, so good. This advertisement is FDA approved.
It's brought to you by
Sasso insecticide spray and coil.
Hello, good evening. Let's do sports news here on News 360. My name is Yao Ofusila. We're down to our first story this evening. And Uzbekistan beats the Black Stars B team 2-1 in an international friendly played at the Makauzi Stadium in Namagan in Uzbekistan. Now, Otabek Shukurov gave an early lead, finishing off a neat move.
No coach that can lead the team. Right now, Johnson Smith has a license B and he's not eligible to coach the first team. But we have another coach who is having license A. But now we are happy that we have appointed former Black Stars coach to coach Kumasa Sante Koto.
And the tense coach right now I ball league pa baby I drain now you hear more free coach so I say go for coach for free.
Well, that was a cross-section of fans in Kumasi. They're expressing their views on Mariano Barreto's appointment. But Britain's Prince Patel has vowed to claim all 5 vacant super flyweight belts at stake for Saturday's championships in Accra. The boxer, who weighed 114.9 pounds on Friday, insisted his Tanzanian opponent can never be a stumbling block between him and victory on the night.
The Saturday night event is a historic one as it features totally non-Ghanaian contenders. The 2 combatants from Britain and Tanzania will be vying for the vacant WBO Africa, WBO Global, WBA Intercontinental, IBF Intercontinental and a Commonwealth titles in the super flyweight division. Friday weighing saw the Briton clocking 114.9 pounds on the scale, whilst his opponent, Thomas Kisawawi, weighed 117.3, 2.3 pounds more than the required 115 pounds for the division. He was to shed the excess weight of 2.3 pounds, but the Briton, Prince Patel, says he will defeat Kisawawi to grab the 5 titles at stake. Earlier, heavyweight Usmanu Haruna weighed 276.6 pounds as against Ebenezer Tete's 239.6 pounds for the vacant WBA Pan-African title. Musa Rahman losing and his opponent weighing 162.8 and 158.0 pounds ahead of their super welterweight contest over 6 rounds. Lucy Wildheart of UK and Tanzanian Fora Makela both weighed 126.3 and 125.1 pounds for their international featherweight contest over 8 rounds. The historic event is to be hosted by Kahaya Lounge at Adrigano, East Legon in Accra.
Well, that was Peter Kwadato's report on the boxing bout that's coming off later tomorrow at the Bukom Boxing Arena. My name is Yao Ofosulabi, and that's all the sports news this evening here on News 360, International News Entertainment after the break.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma, yeah. Believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma, oh yeah. Clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we start the Puma, oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma, let me hear you. Puma.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. A delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yen na da da da. So pa mediane no abin.
Come on, Gino. Do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss keke.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Celebrate a low-price family Easter with ShopRite. Get more for your Easter feast with our low prices. Plus, get great deals like a 340-gram pack of Sierra Chicken Frank for only 5 cedis, 99 pesos, and Easter Mallow Chocolate Eggs Galore 3 for just 4 cedis, 49 pesos. There's more low prices for your family this Easter, only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Puma Drinks.
Welcome to the Entertainment News segment. I'm Anita Akufo. Now, CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, says huge opportunities exist for diasporans in Ghana with the Beyond the Return initiative. At an event to welcome a delegation from diaspora, Yofi noted that investors have shown keen interest in the hospitality, arts and culture sector, as well as the film industry.
We've just witnessed a group of a delegation that's come here. They're looking at the wellness, health sector and wellness. And the intention is to invest to set up wellness centers across Ghana. So I believe that it's where the opportunity lies. There are others who are looking at agriculture. There are others who are looking at industry and manufacturing. There's others who are looking at hospitality. There are others that are looking at manufacturing and processing and arts and culture and music and film and all that. So the opportunity exists. And so it's not like there's only one specific area where they'll come and look at. They're looking at general things because, as you know, the U.S. alone, the African American spending power is well over the year is well over $1.5 trillion. Even if you can get 1% of that to be invested here, it will create a new economy that will be useful to us. Thank you.
The 90s was an amazing decade. The period launched the careers of a number of versatile movie stars and iconic actors like the great Edie Coco, Bob Smith Jr., the Diabolo Man, Mark Jordan Amate, Kalsum Sinari, Irene Opari, Edina Matachi, the late Kwame Owusu-Nsah, Mauli Semevo, Doris Sakite, Eunice Banini, and many others landed their breakthrough at the time. Unfortunately, not everyone is still around. While some have stuck around, others have either passed on or left the acting scene. In line with the Ghana Month celebration, TV3's weekend entertainment show Simply Showbiz will host 3 of the 90s biggest movie stars to celebrate their achievements and bring back good memories. Joining host Crystal Kwame Ayi to relive the 90s are legendary actors Bob Smith Jr., aka Diabolo Man, Blue Riverson Jr. and actress Pascaline Edwards. Don't miss the conversation on Simply Showbiz, and Simply Showbiz airs on Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on TV3. And here's an update on the ongoing court proceedings. And Ghanaian actress Nana Magbrown was ordered to appear in court concerning the case in which artist manager Lawrence Nanesiama Hansen, also known as Bulldog, is standing trial for threatening the president. Bulldog's alleged threatening comments was made on United Showbiz, hosted by Nana Magbrown, who filed a witness statement for the hearing of the case. That's it for entertainment this evening. I'm Anita Ikia Akufu. Have a good evening.
Good evening, Anita. And, well, thank you so much for staying with us here on News 360. We certainly do appreciate your company and do have a great weekend. I am Alfred Okansi.
And my name is Aisha Yakubu. Have a good evening.